Hey, what's good everybody? It's Lance again, and today I'm coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to review the new Boots Riley movie. I believe this is his theatrical directorial debut, featuring LaKeith, Stanfield, Tessa, Thompson, Yeun, and a whole bunch of other great, beautiful people in this movie. It is called Sorry to Bother You. This film I was anticipating since January, right? Because of the fact that I believe it premiered at Sundance. I heard articles about it. I saw the first screenshot of LaKeith and Tessa Thompson together. And I was just like, yo, this has to be great. This has to be good. And the fact that Annapurna, which is a very respected, very revered film distributor, you know, they did Her, they did Zero Dark 30 to start out, but like they did a whole bunch of other great films, and of course Phantom Thread very recently. And I knew that this had a lot of potential, and the fact that it was a black director, the fact that it was a predominantly black cast, or you know, obviously you have LaKeith in the forefront, you got Tessa Thompson right next to him, and you have some other people as well. You have Danny Glover, you have who else do you have? You got Terry Crews, and you got the other guy, I just forgot his name. Forgive me if I remember his name. I'll put it in the text somewhere. It's a very interesting movie, to say the least. This movie tackles a lot of things. I think Boots Riley had to be a student of the medium. He couldn't have just made this film out of nowhere and just tried to tackle such ambitious subjects with cinema, you know, so early on in his filmmaking career. You know, I feel like this movie just tries to tackle a lot of different subjects, from racism, classism, stereotypes, capitalism especially, and it tries to tackle it in surrealist ways and satires, to the point where you kind of try to understand what's a satire, what's not, and what exactly the director was trying to say. There's a lot of things going on in every single frame of the film. I feel like this movie is shot really well, by the way. I think the cinematographer did some other films as well. I think he did Edge of 17 or some other things of that nature, but it's shot really well, especially for a first feature. Like, you would think that, you know, it would be very not amateurish, but very like beginner like, but no, this is a very well shot movie. The director, Boots Riley, knew what he was doing when he was placing the camera where he was placing it, and the cinematographer followed through. The writing and just the overall story is something that I can't really get into unless I really want to spoil the movie for you, because honestly, you know that the film is about a person who's like played by LaKeith Stanfield, who named Cassius Green, that's his name, nicknamed Cash, who lives with his girlfriend in his uncle's garage, right? But you also understand that, you know, he gets a job at a telemarketing agency, and he also develops a white voice. And that's really all you understand from the trailer. It doesn't go in any deeper than that. And obviously, you know from the cast, Armie is in the film as well, and he has a pretty interesting, crazy role. But yeah, it's very bizarre. It's also very surreal. The film succeeds in a lot of ways, but also I also feel that there are some things that maybe I didn't get, that maybe if I was to watch the film a couple more times I would. I think that this film does require maybe 2 to 3 viewings, I think, at least, in order to fully comprehend everything that Boots was trying to convey with this movie. There's a lot of humor. I laughed quite a lot during the movie. I'm not sure if it's just a full-fledged comedy. It might as well be, because it was really hilarious, very much so. The writing is very clever, very well done. The directing is very well done as well. I think that he had to put a lot of effort into this, a lot of time, probably some years into this script, and he did it, and he made Sorry to Bother You. And yeah, it delves really into surreal territory, and when it does it, you're kind of like, oh my god, like what is happening? You know what I mean? To not spoil anything, it's really something that you probably cannot predict. You know, don't get spoiled for this movie. Don't try to look at it as little reviews for it as possible. I know you guys are watching mine right now, but yeah, just try to like avoid everything at all costs. Just go in with like an open mind and like an empty vessel, and I'm sure you guys will probably be surprised. And yeah, and I really was as well. I really enjoyed this movie. It's something of a rarity to be seeing black culture conveyed in such an artistic, surrealist, satirical way. I feel like we've been getting a lot of that lately with like Get Out, which is more of like a horror film based on like obviously society. And we have a whole bunch of other things as well. You know, we have the TV show Atlanta, of course, which I reviewed day in and day out. And then you have all these other like up and comers, you know, and I think that it's really great that we were finally able to get to see cinema like this, you know, and for it to have theatrical distribution, I think is great, you know. Right now, I believe in New York it's only playing in around four theaters, unfortunately. I saw it at the Angelica. However, I know they're playing it in LA. And yeah, it's really well done. And yeah, I really recommend it. If I had to give this movie a rating from a scale of 1 to 10, I'd definitely give it an 8.5 out of 10. I think that this film has a lot of potential for me to really like delve deep into later on when I get to see it again. And yeah, I feel like there's a lot of potential for me to really just like study and kind of like understand exactly everything that you know, who knows, I may have missed or may have not missed, and just really want to go over again. It's a very well done movie, very well done. And yeah, if I have to if I had one critique on it, it would just be maybe because I just kind of wanted a little bit more out of the ending, if that makes any sense. But other than that, I feel like that's also something that could be forgiven if I just watch it a couple more times and just understand exactly what the meaning behind everything was, you know what I mean? But overall, I put it on Twitter. I think Boots kind of made almost a classic, you know? I think that this movie has the potential to have like a classic noted on it, because, or like a cult following at least, because it's so different. You've never seen anything like it before. I haven't. And it's unpredictable and very well done and very well thought out, and I have to commend Boots Riley for that. Anyway, you guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you guys later with another review or something or some sort. Alright.